shoes now.
So they can grow and scale their business. That's wild to me.
That is something that could be an asset.
I had to paint this path. I gotta pave away.
That's how 90% of painting contractors do it today. I even seen a post recently. I won't name the name, but I wanted to kind of go to battle with him, right?
I'll open a painting company and show them.
Right.
Just on the spot.
What is going on, painting entrepreneurs and contractors alike? It is Memorial Day. We are here with the Paint Your Path podcast. My name's Aiden Smith, and I am joined by my co-host, the great and powerful Joel Mercado.
What is going on, my brother?
Big week going on.
A lot of stuff happening, man. A lot of stuff. Yeah.
We want to touch on that here, guys. We have a few events coming up. Joel is having his 5 Pillars to Excellence in-person event. It is sold out. I believe there may be a couple CEO tickets available.
I just sold one today. There's
Okay.
one more left. Yeah, if someone wants it, they could definitely hop on it. We have one more left.
Okay, 1 CEO ticket, guys. Hopefully it's not sold by the time this gets published, so reach out to Joel like ASAP. That's going to be Saturday and Sunday, May 30th to 31st. It's going to be in San Diego, California, and bunch of high-level guests, awesome entrepreneurs, people that he's worked with, people that are just looking to scale, like you name it. It's going to be amazing. So, again, awesome. Sick I'm not there, but it's all good. And then we have one more event coming up. It's actually a somewhat newer event. So It's hosted by Micah McLean over at Search Click Grow. It's a free online event Wednesday and Thursday, May 27th and 28th. So this week, we're going to try and rush this episode out so you guys can make it. But it's really for contractors looking to be a pro in their market and not a Joe. So
yeah, I love that.
Being the celebrity, you know?
Yes. Not a Joe, but a pro is what Aiden said earlier. I love it. Yeah, it's that's cool. I'm super excited for Micah because I think he's bringing something to the table. Even though there's webinars and stuff like that, he is a very workshop type guy. So I think there's going to be a lot of value on this call where I've noticed certain people. I'm in the chats, right? I try to get people in the chats going. Some people come to a webinar and they go, "Well, I thought there was going to be more." I don't think you're going to have that problem on Wednesday, considering you're covering, obviously, production. I'm covering mindset behind all the stuff, and then they're doing sales and all these other things. I think you're going to come out with tangible items and execution plan afterwards. So super pumped.
Yeah, he was very, transparent about that. He was like, "Hey, guys, like I want to come to this event so people feel like, hey, I got something to work on after, like actionable items, tools, freebies. Like I got a few things that I'm giving out. You're going to have a few things that you're covering that people can implement right away." So we don't come to just show up and have fun. We're bringing the heat. We're bringing actionable items that we see work with the people that we work with and that what we've used in our own businesses. So like you said, Joel is going to be all over mindset, SOP. If you break that down one more time for us.
Yep. So we're going to go over SOP, which is shifting your operating patterns. So I'm going to teach you guys how to interrupt your mindset where you get in a stuck state, how to get unstuck and be able to make proper decisions in each area of your business. So I'm going to break that down into the nitty gritty. So that way it's easier because, we all get stuck. Sometimes we overthink things. We don't know how to problem solve it or come up with decision making. And then it puts us in a bad state. So I'm going to help warm that up and give actual tools to help you get unstuck. So it's going to be fun.
It works perfect with Micah too, because like he is like such an operational SOP guy.
Yeah,
he's like a human robot, and you bring that, and it's just like the perfect blend. So I'm excited for that. And then I'm going to be covering pricing that supports sales and production. So it's not going to be you show up and I'm just throwing different estimating numbers at you. It's really like, hey, here is the impact that it can have in your organization, how to implement it, and how it's going to help your sales and production. So we're going to be covering some cool stuff. Also wanted to shout out the sponsor, of course, before we get into it. We're going to be talking about sales this podcast. And really specifically the 3 most important aspects of a sales appointment. So a lot of things you want to cover, a lot of, SOPs, right, that we want to go through and make sure we hit as far as a sales appointment. But what are like the top non-negotiables, 100% things that you need to do in order to have consistency in your sales? And this doesn't just have to work with painting contractors. This is any type of home service, any product that, you go in and you're improving the home.
Yeah.
So that's what we're covering today.
What a lot of people don't realize, like when we talk about numbers and percentages and closes, it's because of these non-negotiables that help support us get to those numbers. It's not like we just made up a magic number, right? It's, hey, we followed this play, we followed this formula, and this is why we were able to achieve these things and have consistency in them. So Can't wait to break those down.
Yeah, man. And shout out to our sponsor, of course, DripJobs. If you're looking for an all-in-one CRM for painting business owners, gutters, epoxy floors, roofers, it's PATH30. That's our special promo code. You're going to get 30% off your first 3 months, PATH30. And like I said, this is the best CRM you can have if you're a home service business. We love the guys over at DripJobs. And
yes.
Yeah, shout out. So the top 3 most important aspects of a sales appointment. I have my list. I believe you put together a list as well, or, you probably already just know this off the top of your head. But I'm going to start with my bottom of the 3. So I got 3, and we're going to start with what is the least of the most important.
All right.
And for me, I tried to encapsulate a good amount into so we can kind of cover certain things. But for me, it's the pre-sale. What happens before the appointment?
Yes.
And I touch on that because, I believe, and since working with a bunch of painting contractors and contractors, it's like, if you can set up the sale before you get there, the chances of you closing that job go up so much, and you look at the guys like TJP with the marketing or Walter's Custom Painting. They're setting up their sale for such success, and they're doing the legwork before they even show up.
100%. I like that. I'm going to piggyback off yours, and I'm going to go deeper with the one you just did. So that the way you're saying the pre-qual, essentially, right, doing the things before you get there, I tell my estimator, so this would be my third one, my bottom, but a must would be checking the house photos prior to your arrival. I'm a huge fan of that. I like going to Redfin or Zillow the night before. And I'm the one that actually likes to do the follow-up call as well. So if I'm selling, I like to actually call the customer a day before we go out there. That way we can actually talk to them and have the actual sales rep talk to the customer and go, hey, I noticed based off the photos I was looking at roughly, blah, 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 blah. Based off the notes they're looking at and the photos they're looking at, they're already priming them and giving them that psychological sense of oh, I got to know him already before he shows up. I think that also helps you close at a higher rate because they've got some familiarity with you already.
Yeah. No, 100%. That's something that you can start doing tomorrow.
100%.
You don't need the craziest script for that, right? You got an appointment tomorrow morning. Call them at 4 p.m. the day before and say, hey, this is Aiden with Smith & Co. Painting. Just checking in. Know we have an exterior estimate tomorrow. Just wanted to kind of learn a little bit more about the project and what you're looking to have done. And now they're like, oh, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And you can kind of get an idea, start to maybe prep them. Or maybe it's a bad sale and you actually get to, replace them, right? And save that spot.
Yes.
That's something as well.
Facts. A lot of people don't think about that. But that's where you catch, hey, this isn't a right fit. I didn't waste my time. And then you give your office enough time to fill that gap in.
Yeah. Because your office isn't the, painter, right? Of course, they have their own questions, but you need real discernment in certain situations that only you as the expert are going to be able to kind of look through and say, hey, this is probably not the best lead for our company. So
correct.
I'm a big fan of a high filter on my leads. I just don't want to just send guys to send guys. For me, it's I want good quality at bats. That's why we don't use, just any lead generation service. Trying to get the best leads. And that kind of piggybacks off of the pre-sale that we were just talking about with the content. You're going to get better quality leads because they're going to feel like they knew you already.
Yes. Yes. I love that. I love it.
It's interesting. It's also, like you said, psychology, right? If they felt like they already seen you 2 to 3 times before you even show up, how much of a better at bat is that compared to the other painter who just booked it, barely did the conversation, they don't know what they look like or anything like that, and then they're just showing up. They're the guy that's just another bid. You're the primary one they want to go with.
Yes. Well, they're saying now too. I've been in a lot of rooms with like social media experts and stuff, and they're saying that you need about 7 hours worth of content before someone actually trusts you to buy from you. So if you're doing anything social media wise, they're saying 7 hours worth of content. So just like you just said, if they're seeing your Facebook post, your Instagram post, they see that you're creative, you're fun, they're seeing before and afters, they're seeing testimonials, and it's multiple different things that you're doing. Now that just adds that much more value to the sale because they've already vetted you. They feel like they trust you. And that whole, I need to think about it, or I'm going to get more quotes, you probably won't get that much anymore because they're probably saving you for last. Like, I really want to work with this guy and I want to get a quote to see if he's the right fit, or she, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think that's where we're going now, right? Is the fact that they're saying 7 hours worth of content just to earn trust. That's a lot of time, dude.
Yeah.
So
I think Tanner says that a lot, right? Like, your clients are doing way more research than you think nowadays.
100%.
Sure, you're going to get that client that clicked on your funnel. You're in it now. You get to them fast. You have a sales process to close them that next day. But like, there's a lot of people that are like, I'm going to take my time on this decision. And then the best leads possible when you show up and they're like, oh, I already seen your reviews. I already seen all this stuff. I want to use you guys. Just let me know what it'll be and we'll figure that out. That's the best at bats. And think about it like this, right? So personally in our business, we spend $1,500 on Angie, right?
Yep.
If I were to take that $1,500 and invest it into videographer, who we can get some good content for $1,500 a month, right? Why not just run that? And then not only is that going to support the leads that I have coming in from my other sources, Facebook, Google, you know what, but like that's going to get more organic leads as well, which are slam dunks.
100%.
So something to think about. That's what we're actually doing. As soon as that contract's up, we might even pay it off early and just swap it, just because that's what we've seen work.
Dude, that's honestly, that's the play nowadays. Things are moving so fast, and like I'm watching even my clients and I'm like, dude, the ones that have videographers are staying the most consistent are the ones that are just scaling without having to hire any or spend even more on marketing. They're literally just like, Joel, I can't handle the amount of leads I'm getting right now. I'm like, that's a good problem, dude. So like everyone that has a videographer right now, I've been putting people on game on that too. I'm like, hey, get a videographer, get constant posts. Here's the new game that I've been putting people on too, is don't sleep on YouTube. I didn't know I was going here, but I've been thinking hard about how can we bring value to the contracting world using YouTube? Because most people are like, well, I need to be an influencer for YouTube. That's false. If I were to open a painting company today, like literally, if I'd made that decision today, another painting company, I would immediately open up a YouTube channel for that business. I would do what to expect videos publicly, not privately to send to my clients. I would do it publicly. I would do one long form a week, which is an educational one for my clients. Hey, this is what we usually hear when we do an exterior. It's that type of season. This is what you want to look for. You're going to get 7 to 10 years out of this product and that product. Maybe do like a product review long form once a week, or maybe even once a month if you don't have enough time yet. And then the thing that people are sleeping on is YouTube posts, not the shorts. YouTube posts right now. I just posted my first one yesterday. I was all proud about it.
Let's go. I love that.
But, like I'm being put on game. I'm paying other not contractors, but other coaches to coach me on higher level things I've never thought of. And they're like, Joel, you're sleeping on YouTube, dude. Like, take advantage of it. And if that's me being a coach, but then I was like, well, it's the same thing for contracting, right? Yeah. So if you need 7 hours of content, why not start using your YouTube channel? Not a lot of people are doing that for their businesses. Only us, like coaches or influencers or people that have channels are doing that. But what about contractors? Not a lot of contractors are doing this. What's that?
I'm about to take your plug and I'm about to take my outlet and I'm about to put it together.
Let's go.
So when you post on YouTube, right? I believe YouTube and Google have the same parent company.
Yeah.
Or something like that, right?
Yeah.
That's going to help so much with your SEO.
100%.
I mean, think about what do homeowners want? They want closure. They want to make sure that whoever I'm hiring doesn't have a bunch of stock images. Yep. What's the polar opposite of that? long form content about what's actually going on with
Yes.
your company, your process. Now I'm way further sold.
100%.
Something to think about. I love that. Good stuff.
Dude, I want to see you doing it, Mr. Smith and Co.
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
Seriously,
we got the
I'm
what to
scared.
expect video. We send
Yeah.
that out beforehand. That's why the pre-sale is so important to us, because people do mention our videos. They're like, hey, I saw your stuff, blah, 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 right? So that's
Yeah.
great. But as far as long-term, or long form, I'm making that for the coaching, but not my painting business. It's about my painting business.
Yeah.
But I need
But
to get on it
imagine
for
if
my
you
painting
did-
business.
Yeah, imagine if you did a 2-part coaching, right? Like you did one for your coaching, swap your shirt out, you're already at the job site.
Yeah.
And then you did one for Smith and Co. Boom, you're doing both at the same time. There's block scheduling, right? And then now you're promoting the business, but like I think it really will give you guys an upper hand. And it's like if you start early right now, we got to be early adopters, and that's the one thing I'm really trying to do as much as possible. I'm integrating AI. Like my CRM right now for coaching is all AI. Like
Nice.
I don't call to anybody. They're just like blah blah blah, and I'm like, wow. Like it's just making my life easier. So imagine putting that into the businesses, right? You can have AI answering after hours and to have it sleep at certain times. I didn't think I was going to talk about this subject, but since we're
It's
here,
all good.
these are the great things that I think if you guys are innovating, right, you got to get ahead of everybody else. And everyone else says they're too busy, then you already got ahead of them again, right?
Yeah.
And as you guys know, we're always trying to give you the value to get ahead, not stay stuck or be behind the game. So that's just where we're at. And then here's the cool part. If you're doing that on YouTube, let's say you guys are also doing, I was telling one of my clients the other week in person, start doing YouTube channels for training, right? Training your in-house guys.
Okay.
This is what we do.
Yes.
This is how we do it. And then use that transcription from YouTube, convert that into AI and make an SOP out of it. That way you can get it all done in one. You got a video version and a paper version. Turn that into a book. Boom, done. Just like that. So,
Joe, you can't give out this much value, bro. They got to pay for this stuff. Just kidding. Just kidding.
I got excited. Sorry.
No, that's, dude, so good. And I think that like staying, like you said, being early adopters, staying up to date with what's going on and what's helping.
Yeah.
So think about it like this, right? So not that we're affiliated with this software, but Routamize just dropped.
Yeah.
Right. That speed to lead, that software, that new thing out there that you get to adopt and have AI have conversations with your leads after hours when you can't get to the phone, all that kind of stuff. And you're the first one there. Now you have a better opportunity to sell jobs and also fill your, schedule more efficiently. So,
brother, it's getting there real fast.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
So all this stuff, you're having your Gary V moment. Like, hey, do this now because it's going to be too late, right?
Yes.
So true.
100%.
Okay. Moving on to number 2.
1 hour later.
Okay, so we did the pre-sale. Now for me, number 2 would be emotional connection.
Oh, yes.
What do you think about that?
I love that. That to me is effective listening, right? So I think a lot of people, I don't know if I've said it here on the podcast, but I talked about the 3 C's. Do you remember if I mentioned that at all?
3 C's. Can't recall.
Okay, so I like to coach on 3 C's: competence, credibility, and connection. So what happens is most painters and most people, tradesmen, right? They have competence, right? They know their trade. They're really good at what they do. Credibility, if they do a great job, then those reviews show their credibility, but they're missing the connection. And that's what you're talking about. And that's what gives you leverage, right? As they go, wow, I like Aiden, oh my God, like I loved everything about your presentation, but most importantly, I trust you. Thank you. Like, what's it going to cost? So that's important. And I love that.
Yeah. And most people, they miss this part. Most contractors miss this part, right? Because 100%. It's like, all right, cool. They're calling you because you already sold them in a certain way. Like, hey, I would consider this contractor to work in my home. And then when you get there, you miss out on their story, what matters to them, why they actually went and maybe chose you. Maybe they saw something, right? And you get to like have that deeper connection with them that the next guy might miss out on, and now you have the upper hand. I always talk to my clients about not selling the commodity and the service. You know, it's like selling the sizzle, not the steak, right? If they say, hey, like, I like Aiden, he has the confidence that we need to do this job properly. All the reviews, all the stuff he talked about, the thoroughness, the detailed, and I like him, man, that's one thing you can't sell, because your competitors, they're going to be using the same paint probably. They're going to do probably a great job, right? Like, if they're competing with the same leads that we have, it's really a matter of like, did you give them the confidence and did you connect with them?
Right.
And if you can do that better, right? Like, look at the guys that we know that are killing it in sales right now, that have conversations and just want to make a friend. Guys like Duran, I mean, he just set the record for some crazy, like 77% close ratio.
Yeah, dude.
This guy's insane. And I remember when we first started talking, he's like, I literally go to these estimates and I just make a friend.
Yeah.
I already know I'm going to do a good job. Like, I got all the, how to and all that. I just want them to like me and say, I want this guy to do my job. That's powerful.
I heard him say he recorded what did he say? Did you hear the recording he sent? Something like
Yeah. He was like, wait, what did he say? He said, look, where do you need to be at for this price point? And they were like, well, I'd like to be at like 2,500. And he was like, but I can't get there. But what did he say to kind of bridge that gap?
He kind of said like, how about I give you $300 off and we'll just make it happen?
Yeah, it was like, you look like you want to go with me.
Yeah.
Like something so just.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, man, like, what do you need to get this across the finish line?
Yeah.
But I think that because he's able to, because he made that connection, he's able to be bold.
Yes.
Right? It's not like in the beginning he was like straight to the point, straight to the process and estimating. And then at the end, he becomes bold all of a sudden. It's like, now you look like not credible. You look disingenuous. You're just 100%. Trying to get the sale. But if you can maintain that and start that from the beginning, now you're in such a better conversation at the end.
100%. I love that. 100%.
So that's what I meant by like, I'm going to kind of say things that are a little overarching, because emotional connection tags on a couple things.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I'm just piggybacking off you today.
Oh, you're good. So yeah, we got pre-sale, emotional connection, right? Not selling the commodity. And also one more thing on that. So when people are marketing, the rookie contractor, the Joe, will say like top quality, right?
Yeah.
Lasting finish, durable coatings, warranty. And it's like, everybody's going to have that.
Facts.
But then you go to the bigger, better painting companies, the pros, and it's like ease of use, right? The easy button for painting, stress-free, family-owned. It's all emotional, and nothing is service-based. Nothing's commodity.
I love that. You're absolutely right. Because it goes into, me, I always try to give a tool with something. It goes into the 3 Ps. I always talk about process, product, and precision.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're able to hit that with understanding that, hey, like, we have this type of process, we want you to feel better about your systems and how things are going to be implemented in your home and how we're going to take care of it. They care about that because you care about their home. And you're walking into someone's territory, their safe place, right? So you got to be conscious of that when you come in.
Love it. And then my last one, going to be a little bit controversial maybe.
Ooh, okay.
But I got risk reversal. Here's what I mean by that.
Now I'm curious.
I've been cooking up with sales so much over the last 6 months. It's been insane.
Yeah.
So risk reversal, and again, a little bit more overarching, but it's that value-based closure of, hey, you've seen my process and all the things that I'm doing, how thorough, detailed, pricing here. It's all laid out nice and professionally. You're almost like, the amount of risk in going with this guy, thinking that it won't get done properly, is so low that I'll pay a little bit more for that closure.
Yeah.
And then, right, once you're kind of like, all right, cool, I'm pretty much already in, right? Maybe the price is a little bit high for me. Now I hit you with the, again, risk reversal or safety net of like, hey, no worries. Let's just say you get other quotes. Just sign today, lock in your spot, no deposit. You can cancel, right? But I am so confident that that won't happen that it's almost like I'm giving you so much guarantee of outcome.
Yeah.
Right. And in the trades, you need that. That's like the most important thing. Am I going to get the result that I want?
Facts. That's a good. You said it's risk reverse.
Risk reversal. It's the confirmation. It's the, hey, I'm so confident and you've seen all the value that we're bringing to the table that the amount of risk in this is so low for you. I'm the sure bet. This other guy, red flags here. You seen him kind of just look eyeball. Yeah, $500, $1,000. You get the paint. You kind of feel like iffy. I am the sure bet. You know.
I see that. Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm letting that sink into my brain on how I can spin that one. That's good. I like it.
Well, also, right, so we created something called a sales dictionary, right, in the Paint Pro coaching, and it's basically a bunch of different frameworks that you can use in your sales.
Nice.
And risk reversal is kind of like a section. It's the safety net close, right, no deposit. It's the same-day discount. Hey, if you help us out, here you go. Here's something for you.
Yeah.
It's just limiting that risk for them, right? You're getting a better deal based on all the value that I'm bringing to the table. So you feel like you're getting the better side of the deal.
I love that. Look at it. I see a sales Aiden. I like the sales Aiden, man. We're so used to hearing production rates that you forget this man can sell freaking anything. I love it.
Dude,
I love it, dude.
Here's one thing. If you guys pull up to the Contractor Domination event on 27th, 28th, this Wednesday and Thursday, I'm actually going to be showing you a tool that I made. First ever. Nobody's seen it.
Oh, I better stay tuned in. I want to see it.
It's fire. It is fire. And it's going along all the things that we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
All the things that you need to do specifically in order to have consistent sales.
Love it.
So
Let's go,
excited
dude.
for that.
Guys, you better tune in because if you're going to miss it, everyone else is going to see it, not you. So tune in. Make sure you're
Link in the description, guys. And 3, we talked about pre-sale. 2, we talked about emotional connection. And 1, risk reversal. And I have a couple non-negotiables.
Yep.
So things that you have to do at the appointment in order to, if you're going to do this for an entire year and want to hit 50% plus closing ratio, you got to provide pricing at the appointment, right? We know that painting is emotional. People don't have to do it, and that means it's a luxury. So the emotions are going to be high there, right? You're going to have your best chance at landing the deal there, so you have to provide pricing at the appointment. Non-negotiable.
100%. If you don't do it on the spot, right? Like, what's going to happen? Think about all the other things that come up.
You know? So
do you remember when you first started coaching, like, didn't it seem weird to you when you kept hearing no one doing things on the spot?
Oh, yeah.
It was like, what?
Yeah.
You don't know the difference. You're like, I've never thought that would be good. So,
well, that really stemmed because I did take initially when I first started my painting business, I took everything home at night.
Did you really?
Yeah, just after dinner, just cooked it up, 9 o'clock at night, sending estimates. That's how 90% of painting contractors do it today.
Ah,
right.
Yeah, I'm not like my world was never like we were like, dude, you show up home without getting it on the spot, you're gonna hear it from us. Like it was wild,
right.
Dude. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't until I worked for CertaPro.
Okay, cool.
That I started to figure all this out because it was like, dude, they everything we're talking about, they already have it down pat.
Right,
all these big franchises understand all this, and that's why they kill it from day one, right? Because they got it all figured out. And we had a system, and I was shadowing my trainer, and he was showing me. This guy was so dialed in, he wouldn't even measure the room. He would just be like, "Yep, boom, 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 boom." And I'm like, wait, don't you got to like measure it and all? He's just like, nah, I already know how big it is. I'm like, wow. But in his mind, and this is kind of how I think, right? It doesn't matter about getting to the exact cent. You just got to get within like 5 to 10%.
Correct.
If I can get to that point where I feel confident, like we're within striking distance, I'll sell the rest.
Right. I like
that. Kind of opened my eyes about a little bit, and he used to say like, hey, it's an estimate, not an accurate,
Right.
So,
Aiden just dropping us today. I like it.
It was cool, man. I learned a lot, man, when I worked there. Super smart guys, dialed in, and then a lot of that was like the foundation for my own painting business, and then I kind of like added some more tech and more some processes based on what I thought was right, and that's the Paint Pro coaching for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I love it, dude. Let's go.
Another non-negotiable would be to discover the story and the why.
Yeah.
Right. So getting to your exact, hey, like, of course, yes, we're going to paint your house, but why am I out here? Like, what is the scenario? What were past experiences? What are we doing?
Yeah. Well, if you don't get that, you turn into every other estimator, which is they talk at customers versus getting data and understanding where they're at so that you know how you're going to help provide the service that we need to provide. So don't be like those other guys just talking at them because they already know what you're selling them paint. Everyone's selling them paint, but what are you going to take care of them with? So yeah, that's a great one too. I like that.
And I would also say, I always talk about my coaching, like it works in a big circle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like one of your frameworks, if you put it into mine, it would break the system because it's like different, right?
Right.
You know what I mean by that. But like what happens is if we don't know the why in the story, and I don't know if they're selling the house or they really care about the house or what it is, I don't know which package to sell them. Good, better, best.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
So that tailored quote is dependent on that story and what they care about and me helping them figure out what the best option is for them specifically.
100%. Well, and it's like what you're saying essentially is if you don't get that data, and let's say you put them at the best package and you didn't listen to certain keywords they're telling you, like, let's say inside a house is cracking and you say, hey, do you want to do this the right way or do you want to get this done the fast way or the quick way or the cheap way, right? A lot of people fear those questions. I ask those questions because it tells you where they're at in the buying journey of what they want. And then that opens up another dialogue, which would be like, oh yeah, I want it done the quick and easy way. Oh, just kind of curious, like why? Oh, we're going to sell the house. Oh, that makes sense. Boom. And then it turns into another one and another one and another one. That way you don't skip steps. So just like you said, with that framework, you'll be able to identify exactly what they need. So
yeah, there's guys out there. It's just like, hey, here's the price, here's the paint we use, and that's it. And man, I'm telling you, you're missing out on so much if you're doing that.
100%.
So much more. And then last non-negotiable is going to be the follow-up appointment. You're not going to land every job on the spot.
Correct. We call them, for us, we'll say multiple. So whenever they give you the objection of multiple quotes, we call it a comparison quote appointment. And if it's, I need to think about it, then it's just a follow-up appointment. So like how long or how many days do you need to think about it? Oh, give me about a week. Awesome. Well, if today's Monday, would it be fair to say that I can give you a call this Saturday? Right. Yes. Great. Morning, afternoon, or evening. Boom. Schedule it. Because the last thing you want to do is be annoying, first of all, and like calling. And then here's the crazy part. This is where the mindset comes in. Because so many people will be like, hey, Joel, I've got all these follow-ups to make and no one's answering the calls. And I'm like, okay, well, did you schedule an appointment with them? No. Okay. Well, you're probably calling them in the most inconvenient times. Yeah. They're busy. They forget to call you back. And then what if there's 5 other estimators doing the same thing? Like, come on, have a process that's so tight like that they have an appointment, you have a time scheduled, and then they know the expectations. And your closing ratio will go high. I call it the 50-50 split. 50% up front, 50% on follow-up. And it should be easy. 25% up front, 25% on the follow-up to get your 50% minimum. That's how it should be.
Yeah. Now, with the follow-ups, it's also a standard the way you're saying to do it, right? It's our time's valuable. I respect your time. I want to make sure this is like amicable when we're meeting and talking. So let's not just, a couple days, I'll call you back. It's like, no, don't do that. Because now it's like I'm just a run-of-the-mill guy trying to throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. We really don't want to go about it like that. So these are like little organizational tweaks that if you don't know, you don't know. And now you're missing out on opportunities.
100%. 100%. And it is, like you said, it's the small ones, but they add up.
Yeah.
They really do.
They do.
So
Even like talk tracks on the follow-ups, right? Like I've been changing my kind of wordage a little bit, and anytime that I'm responding to a client based on maybe, like you said, anything about it or anything like that, I always end it with like, I'm here to serve you.
Yes.
Whatever you need, like I'm here to serve you. Like if you feel like you need to do X, Y, and Z, perfectly fine. And then they see that as like, wow, this guy, he's not hogging me like a salesman. He's like actually wants what's the best for me. And I found just that mindset shift allows people to come back to me a little bit more.
It's that comfort. You didn't put the sales wall. We call it sales friction, right? You didn't put that wall back up. You brought it down.
Yeah.
So they have that comfort with you. And again, that goes back to what you said earlier on that connection too, right? They feel more connected. They trust you. So that's great, man. I love it.
Yeah. All works in one big circle.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, we covered some good sales stuff. What have you seen like as far as trends with your guys, as far as maybe things that they've been doing? Like, hey, I've been doing this and it's been working. Anything like that?
Anything in general or just in sales specifically?
Just in sales specifically, yeah.
Yeah, I would say, I think what we do big time, we do a lot of objection handling.
Yep.
Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like you can have conversation. Like any person that's ever talked a day in their life can figure out how to have a conversation. I don't think it's about perfecting your conversation. It's about feeling confident in overcoming the objection. So if you already have that mindset that, hey, I'm going to have a conversation with the person and just get them what they need as an individual, not a sales rep, right? Like change that mindset. You are a customer service representative. You're not a painter. You're not a paint owner. You just happen to provide paint as the service that they're seeking. So if you change your mindset to like, I'm just here to serve you, just like Aiden said, already in that mindset, the conversation's all about serving. Hey, how can I help you? What can we do to make this better for you? What are some things you're looking for? That's natural conversation. But at the end is where I see people freeze, where they just go, I need to think about it. They go, okay. Well, that's not objection handling training, right? Like you do need some sort of confidence and frameworks to at least push a little bit to get the close
100%.
Or have that confidence to at least know that you can ask a little bit more questions to get them across the finish line. Yeah. So I see that a lot of guys are getting really comfortable with the objection handles. And I think that's what's been a big game changer. And that's the old school in me. Because like that's all we trained was objection handle, objection handle, objection. You should always be prepared with whatever objections they give you. Even if you feel like they're still not going to move forward, at least you tried to get a little bit of a push. And then you're like, okay, no problem. And I call it the 2-no close, right? So like if I get 2 no's, I'm done. I'm not going to keep pushing because in home services, to me, I'm like, all right, well, if I keep pushing, which I can, I don't want to lose the deal just because I'm trying to get them to close today, right? So I go with 2-no close. They say no to me twice, I'm done. Like we move on, we do the appointment schedule, right? Whether it's comparison quotes or follow-up call. That's where we're at. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Dude, and here's the thing, right? I talk to contractors all the time. I even seen a post recently. I won't name the name, but I wanted to kind of go to battle with him, right? A little bit. Ooh. And the post was like, I don't need to land any like customers and force them into signing on the spot. That's not how I do business, and you shouldn't either. You know, like if you have to force your clients to sign that day of, you're not operating, a right type of business, right? With the, customer's interest in mind.
What area is this in?
In sales.
No, but what, like location, territory?
Oh, it's not even about like the territory. It's more of just the mindset.
Oh, I was going to say, wherever he's at, I'll open a painting company and show him.
Right.
Just on the spot.
Yeah, no, well, I think people have a, what is it called? Like a stigma?
Yeah.
Stigma maybe of like, I can't pressure someone, right? And what I tell them is you're not pressuring, right? Nothing you are doing, if you're doing it right with serving in at the forefront, you're never pressuring someone, but you are giving them more ways to say yes and to move forward.
Yes.
Because people do want to be sold. They do want to go with the best value, the best closure, the person they feel will do it right. And a lot of times you are that, especially if you are dealing with me or you, because we don't settle for anything less.
Yeah.
The production and the moral and like what we're bringing to the table is never in question. We have that checked out.
Yeah.
So now that you know, hey, I am legitimately the best option for this client, right?
Yep.
I know that we're worth, and we get jobs like this all the time at this price point. It's like, well, let's have a conversation of where the price that you thought this should be came from.
Yep.
Just open the floor and see where that came from. And now you're telling me, well, this other guy came in at 3,500. I'm at $6,000. I'm like, well, let's talk about that guy. Did you feel as confident as you did with him? Well, I mean, yeah, he's a good company, but and just give you some red flags and doubt. And I'm like, hey, like, I'm sure there's a reason he's at that price point, right?
Yeah.
And now we start to have a conversation, reframe their mind a little bit, and you're not being pushy. You're just genuinely saying, hey, like, here's the reality of it. I'm okay to lose that $6,000 with an awesome company, but if we're just going me versus this guy that you don't even know if he's going to show up on time and get it done the first time, what are we talking about? It's worth the extra money for the long-term headache.
Yeah, dude. Here's the craziest part. Like, when I hear that, it's funny that you said this, because like when I hear that, I don't want to say lack of effort. There's a specific way I want to look at this. I hear fear. I hear fear of rejection. And a way to justify those actions is to have a comment that he said. That's what I hear. So the reason why I say that is when people try to justify something, it's a fear-based decision so that they feel better on why they can't do it. And it's because of the fear that's getting in the way. So they justify themselves by making comments like that so that everybody else believes in that too, to solidify their thought process, which makes them feel better. But they're doing a disservice to their family. They're doing a disservice to their family workers. So all their mouths that they're feeding. Because with that mindset, what happens is guys like us, we just swoop up, take over. And then what happens now is like, oh, I'm closing at 20%. And it's because they're not the right customers. That's why I'm closing at 20%. There's that justification again, right? You can't justify that. And here's the craziest part. And I'll use this as a live example. I did that in-person coaching 2-3 Fridays ago. And one of the sales reps said, literally, this is crazy. We spent the first estimate we did. I did the perfect TO close ever. And he's like, dude, seeing it live was the craziest thing possible. He was going to let the guy walk. I was like, no, that's not going to happen. We're going to do it today. And I was like, if I call so-and-so right now, what's the best price for you? Where do you want to be? That's what I told the guy. I was like, I'm going to call the owner right now. Like, right now, I'm going to call him. Where do you need to be? And he's like, $7,000. I'm like, it's 7,875 or something it was. And he's like, yeah, tell him 7. I was like, can we do 7,250? I have to work with something. He's like, yeah. If you can get 7, we'll make it happen. Called the owner. Hey, he said 7. He's like, ooh, that's a little low. I'm like, do you want the job or not?
Yeah.
And I paused. Yeah, let's get him to get excited about this win. You saw what shifted in the owner's head now. He's like, I need my guy to see what it takes to close a deal on the spot to keep our people busy.
Yep.
And boom, no lie, the next day, that was on a Friday, we leave. The next day, he closed 2 on the spot, and so did the owner. So they had like 4 on-the-spot deals closed Saturday.
Wow.
When they say they never close on the spot. So again, it's that mindset that of like, oh, I had to see it to believe it, right?
Yep.
I saw the framework. It works. I just had to give a little bit more of a push to get that yes. That's it. Yeah. And the funny part is the guy's laughing at the end. We're shaking hands. He's talking to us about the S&P 500 and how we should invest. Like it turned into this whole thing that he's like coaching us on life.
Yeah.
Imagine if we had that same mindset of that gentleman you just said. We could have left with no experience from this older gentleman to just pass on wisdom to us because he felt the need to, because he connected with us, all because we pushed that little bit more to make a deal. And he got excited and he just starts opening up about all this other stuff.
Keeping the guys busy, getting momentum.
Yeah. And then the craziest part, we did the scarcity close. We got him in. We're like, hey, we could get you in this Monday. That was on Friday. We're like, we can get you in this Monday, but we need to know today. And he's like, well, I got one more quote tonight. Can I get back to you tomorrow? I was like, we can't prep on time. It's going to be hard for me to let the production team know. And then what I'm doing is walking them down the road of how it's going to be more stressful for them if I wait too long to make that decision. And then boom, deal got closed.
Check so many boxes just by giving a little bit, right? Compromising a little bit, but it helped both parties.
100%. It helped both. 100%.
We could go into scarcity too. That's one of the things that I've been loving, perfecting lately, right? It's at first you're trying to kind of, is there real scarcity, or are you kind of just trying to get things into the door, which a lot of probably people listening are like, let's back up a little bit. Sure. Scarcity being, hey, there has to be some urgency behind what we're doing, right? We don't have much availability on the schedule. Yep. The crew that you need for this job may be, booked up, or whatever the case may be. Something that kind of limits the availability for you so that the client knows they have to make a decision, okay? So that's what we're talking about when it comes to scarcity. And when you use that effectively, I'm telling you, it's a game changer, because there might be some things that you just aren't conveying to the client that you're missing the mark on. For example, for me, we have a lot of pending schedule jobs, right? And they are waiting on HOA approval, whatever the case may be. There's a couple of reasons why they might have to wait to be scheduled. And I let my clients know. I pull it up on DripJobs and I say, I got 9 projects ready to go. If you don't let us know today, you're now at the back of the line. And it's like, the longer you wait, it's like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. I want to get you in soon. So let's do this now, tentatively get you locked in, right? You're on priority schedule. And now they're like, cool. They feel confident. They're like, all right, I'm ahead of the line. I just used something that I never had to bring up, but I used it to let them know this is actually in your best interest.
Facts.
Again, another way for them to say yes, to win, and to get what they want as well.
100%. I love that, because I used to do this when I would cover for my partner. I'd say, hey, we've got 4 to 5 estimates a day. It's first come, first serve. And I would show them my estimate schedule. Look at all these estimates I'm about to go to. Somebody's going to take that spot. How bad do you want it? So the same process, right? Same thing with the production schedule. You show them the production schedule. Talk about full transparency versus just talking out of the mouth. And try to tell them versus showing them and being like, hey, listen, you heard what Aiden said. I have 9 people lined up. If you don't take this spot now, it's going to be 10. We don't know. It'd be 3-4 weeks. When you show them the schedule, you show them the estimate schedule too. If you go 3-4 a day, you got 12 or 15 locked in still for the next few days. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to be like, okay, this guy, first of all, is at high demand. What does that say, right? Like, they're seeing your schedule. This guy's high demand. He must be good.
Yep.
Yeah. That's that credibility I was talking about earlier. So that's another tool for that part. So I think a lot of people slip on that, and they talk too much and don't show the customer the truth about it. So I love that you mentioned that.
And see how it works all the way back to what we were saying about the pre-sale. If your content is looking good, your marketing is speaking to them, they want to use you, they will get in. That scarcity is real at that point.
Yes.
I think we'll end it on that.
He said, that's facts. That's a good one.
I think we ended on that, guys. So,
all right.
By the time we hit our next pod, Joel's event will be finished. We want to send you great energy, great vibes. You know, you're going to crush it and make real impact. Happy Memorial Day.
Yes.
An amazing day for all the, people that have served, that have unfortunately lost lives, and their families that were affected. Just want to say shout out to our veterans and our military here in the great states.
We wouldn't be able to be on this podcast without y'all. You know what I mean? You guys provided and paved the way for us to have freedom and be able to do what we do. So yeah, I agree, man.
Love that. We'll end it with this quote. Born in the USA. All right, guys. Until the next pod, I'll talk to you, brother.
I had to paint this path.